Nathan, this is one badass Corvette.
Isn't it beautiful? This is based on the 1963 GS, and this baby has a Cadillac CTSV engine.
Get out. I mean, it's a replica. Why does it have a Cadillac
It
CTSV?
is not a replica. This is the only sanctioned General Motors Corvette built outside of General Motors.
Now, that is cool. And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. Car that doesn't seem to belong there is a Corvette. You've got all these Ford and Shelby products, and then there's a Corvette. So tell me about the new Corvette.
Well, the Corvette is an exciting...
I'm not saying it doesn't belong there, it just stands out.
Yeah, the Corvette side, I do have some Chevy blood in me. I have always had it, and it's been really tough coming from, you know, a Chevy background and then doing Fords and only Fords and growing to love the Fords, you know, and appreciating everything that they accomplished. But there's always been that Grand Sport, you know, there was just something about it. It never really did a lot in racing because Chevrolet pulled the sponsorship on the car and it was just raced in private team. But it's always had a fondness. And I started in about 2000 approaching GM and different licensing companies to try and get a license. All along we knew we didn't want a replica or a kit car of the original car. Everything we build is licensed by the original manufacturers, so we wanted that too. And I just carried on with it. Eventually, just before all the problems happened in the economy, and well, right at the thick of it, I got a meeting with the licensing company for Chevrolet, and they said, we'll look at it. We've looked at your history. We've seen that you guys have built more than, at that stage, 3,500 cars. You've got a very good reputation. We've got CEOs and directors in Ford Motor Company, in Chevrolet, director of Lincoln Mercury, driving one of our super performances. So they realized the car's got an excellent name out there, and that we could do this properly. So we approached them, and the license came through. And we are in partnership with Duntop Motor Cars with the license, and so we got some exciting Grand Sports coming. There have been some delays in the manufacture and the completion of the first production cars, but it's all on schedule now, and we should get the first customer cars coming out in the beginning of next year.
Lance, I feel like I'm back in the 60s. This is such an iconic shape.
Oh yes, the Corvette Grand Sport. As I say, it just all around, you just walk around it and there's not a spot on it that just doesn't tell you that this is muscle. This is real muscle. This is all the steroids in the world. This is it. This is the real deal. The Corvette, when they started racing, was very heavy, and August Duntop, who was just an amazing man developing race cars for Chevrolet, knew that he had to lighten it, and he was so far ahead of his time. When he built the Grand Sport, everybody thinks it's just a regular Corvette that he did. He didn't. He built five of them. There's always been a myth that there's possibly a sixth one somewhere, but there were five. It's basically a Corvette shape, but the body was incredibly light, incredibly thin. He didn't use the old box frame. He went with a round tube frame. Everything that was iron or steel on the original Corvette is aluminum or plastic on the Grand Sport. He took the weight from approximately 36, 37, 3,800 pounds all the way down to 2,000 pounds in the Grand Sport. And the car was incredibly light. And that's why it did so well when they did run it. So when we decided to recreate, we knew we had to do it correctly. We went to the world authorities on the car. Number one, we got the GM license, and that was the main thing. We are the only company that can build a car outside of Chevrolet and call it a Corvette. This is a license. It's a Corvette. When you buy it, it comes with a Corvette Grand Sport badges on it. We then also contacted racing icons. Robert Ashe has restored 2 or 3 of the original Grand Sports and probably worked on the others too. And he had original blueprints, copies of them. He had tooling. He had made molds off one of the original Grand Sports. It's been a lifelong deal with Robert Ash doing the Grand Sports, and we managed to buy all that information from him. We then, of course, with Duntop Motor Cars, Alan Savasian has been involved with Grand Sports going back to the 60s. He actually owned one of the original Grand Sports back in 1965 when he was 18, 19 years old. And so he helped us with the project, and all parts and componentry and stuff all sent back to the factory in South Africa. And this was the first prototype that we finished. The production ones will be coming this year. We've got so many customers waiting. So many Chevrolet dealers waiting that want the car. Everybody wants it as a show.
Open it up. We've got to see the heart of this
Now,
bad boy.
Chevrolet got involved. GM backed us really nicely. Jamie Myers and Cliff Cohen have just been amazing. And they supplied, we delivered this to GM.
What an interesting blend of old and new.
Yeah. And they put in, at the GM Proving Grounds, they put in the LSV, the Cadillac CTSV supercharged engine. You can't explain. I mean, in the Cadillac CTSV, it's one of the fastest cars around, production cars around Nürburgring. And now you go put it in something that is 1,500 pounds lighter.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Can you imagine what it performs like in here? It really wants to lift the front wheels off the ground. It's just a trick to drive. And all the LS3, LS7, LS9, LSA, all the GM crate engines will go in this car without any issues. They're economical to buy and they're economical to run. No maintenance issues. 20 mile, 26 mile per gallon Grand Sport with 600 horsepower. Hey, you can't get any better than that.
I got this feeling that you just look at the accelerator and the back wheels are going to want to tear the tires off.
Crazy. You know, we went bigger wheels here. We went to the 18-inch. You can have it with a 15-inch wheel if you're going to build a true purist car. But we knew we needed better tires, more modern rubber to hold all this power. And the 18s just do an incredible job.
So tell me about
And it's a pin drive wheel.
Tell me about this.
That was the differential cooler,
Okay.
and that's where they put it. I mean, it scoops up air well. You know, that's technology from the 60s, and it works. It works. The big difference here is we've added a little trunk to the car. Ash, just come up with the trunk, put that down.
Yeah, let's see how much room you have in here. Well, there's
And
a little bit of room back here, so
yeah.
you can there's a shelf back there.
There's a little shelf back there,
Yeah.
and then there's the trunk over here, which the Grand Sport, of course, didn't have. But we knew most of our customers are going to use them as tourers.
Oh, that's not
and
bad,
there's a
yeah.
nice little trunk. You can get a little bit of luggage in there. Not a whole lot, but at least you can get something. And so and of course, this is also available in the true race version. No aircon, no power steering, no electric windows, as light, or with a plush model with a padded seats, padded dash, and it'll have air conditioning, power steering, electric windows, and central locking.
And how much do those go for?
They start at 89,
So like
the GT40. We build a bare bones, exact as far as possible Grand Sport round tube frame, no aircon, no power steering, as they were, but so far and with the bare interior, as you'll see the one in the showroom, the prototype we have here. But we do offer a more plush one with air conditioning, electric windows, central locking. Exterior-wise, it looks perfect. And then GM have a very, very exciting crate engine program where you can buy anything you want for a project car you're building. And in the prototype, we've got the LSA, which is the Cadillac CTSV supercharged engine.
Yep.
Wow. Words don't describe that engine. Power that comes out of it.
560 horsepower.
Yeah,
box,
that's
something
what
like
Chevrolet say. But
Yeah.
when we put it on the dyno, we got 525 to the rear wheels. So it's making 600
crazy.
horsepower at the flywheel.
Yeah.
And that car was finished at the factory, shipped over to the US. We dropped it off at GM Proving Grounds. They put the engine in 2 days, drove it, tested it, and then brought it through to SEMA. And it was on the SEMA stand was it 10? I think it was 10. and 9 or 10. I've gone blank there for a while, and the car has just been amazing. We've been at GM, then kept it for a year and traveled around the country showing it at all different shows, and really looking forward. We've disappointed them that we haven't got the car out yet, but it'll be here next year. And that'll be the 50th anniversary of the Grand Sport next year. So our timing's probably right in the long run.
Now let me ask you this: you sell the cars as rolling chassis, but will you tell people where they can put the engine in, or will you do that as well? I mean, a lot of those cars in the showroom have engines in them, right?
A lot of them in the showroom are used cars. Some of them are demo cars.
Okay.
And now we only sell them minus engine and transmission, but we do have installers over the years. If you can imagine, in the good days, we were up to 40 units a month, and so we had a lot of installers around the country that had worked on Superformances, service Superformances, approached us and said, "Wow, I've got this great package for your owners. This is. Let them come see me." So we'll basically give an owner a list of people that we know that have done it before in their area, anywhere in the country. We can also help them with servicing and stuff. And the exciting thing about our cars are their initial purchase is in thousands, but afterwards the replacement parts, because it's old school style engines in most cases, is not expensive. You can service them for a few $100. You could even drive it into Jiffy Lube if you wanted to. They're not complex. They're not
You don't have ABS.
You don't have all that stuff. That's
traction
correct.
control.
That's
you don't
correct.
have all the modern electronics.
Yeah. So it makes a big difference, and you can enjoy it. Can stand in the garage, pull it out whenever you want and drive it, and you never have to worry about $2,000 services and $2,000 clutch changes and $3,000 and all that. None of that. It's a couple $100.